In this video, we are going to see how we can combine the multiple Excel files in a particular folder using Power Query. So here we have an example of multiple Excel sheets, and I have also included some text documents in order to show you how we can exclude other files from that particular folder. We have also some CSV formats and normal Excel files. As you can see, there are a lot of files. So we will deal with the scenario where we can get rid of the extra files or extra tables. So first of all, we will insert a blank workbook. And here we will click on the data, click on get data from file and from folder. Now we will choose this relevant folder, click open. Now this opens the preview window where you can see all the files, including the Excel files and the other text files. So if you don't want to work on all of these files, what this will do is it will open the Power Query editor and it will show us all the data along with the extension. So here I can easily filter the other extensions if I don't want that. So I want only the XLS format file. So what I'll do is just open this up, and under the text filters, I can use any filter, or otherwise I'll just select the XLS format. And after that, just click OK. Now, all the extensions are filtered. If we see on our left, the very first column, the content column says binary. Whenever I click on any particular row, you will see that at the bottom, it contains the whole file. So if I want to just combine all of this, because it is now mentioned in a single document, we can click on combine files here, but it is going to show you an error. Let me just show you how. If you click here, it's going to process and it will only show you one single region. So the problem is they are going to show this thing, that the first one is just for each data and it is a table. The second one is a sheet. But even if I combine any of them, it's only going to show the each data. Click OK. It's not going to combine all of this. It will evaluate the query, and at the bottom, when you are trying to add a new data, it is going to show you an error that the key didn't match any rows in the table. So that's the problem that you will face. Now, if I want to go back to the original steps, I'll just see on our right that we have change type, we have expanded table columns, we have other columns, rename columns. So you can uncheck all of these steps and we are back to the original step here. Or otherwise we can just, it says rename the columns. I'll just uncheck all of these as well. Let me just keep the first one, which is filtered rows. So source and filtered rows should only be there in the applied steps. Now what I need is, first of all, I'll get rid of all the extra columns and we will use a formula to work on it. What I'll do is just hold the control key, select both of these first columns, that is content and name, and right click and remove all the other columns. As you can see in Power Query, you can easily do that. Now what I'll do is I'll just go to the add column and custom column. And here we will insert a column named tables. And I'll write a simple formula excel.workbook. You can see it here as well. And under here, I want to load the content. Notice that you don't need to mention the content. You can just double click from the available columns and it will show you here. But sometimes it doesn't put this bracket sign at the opening and the closing. So we need to manually put that and then close it. So when I now click OK, it is going to show us all the names as tables. So now each of these cells has tables. As you can see here, if I click on any one of them, you will see a table kind of format. So basically we are able to fetch the complete table from this particular file. But here you will notice that if I click on any of the table, there are two kinds. One is sheet, one is table. So now since I don't need binary, I'll just right click to remove this. And basically we only have name and tables now. Now when I click on expand, it is going to show us all the contents in here, but I will uncheck this one. Use original column name as prefix. So now if I click OK, it will give me all of these data points. And as we can see that for each Excel file, like East data, Midwest data, North data, we have two kinds. One is sheet, one is table. But since I want to combine all of the tables in a single sheet, what I'll do is I'll open this kind and I'll just uncheck this sheet. Click OK, and now we only have tables in the kind. Now when our purpose is fulfilled, what I can do is I can just hold these two names. One is the sheet name, one is the data name, that is tables. And since we have already filtered out the sheets and we only kept the data type as table, we can just right click and remove all the other columns. Now if I click here, I'll keep this all selected and make sure that this one is unchecked, because otherwise what it will do is after the completion of each table, it will unnecessarily put the other headings for the next sheet as well. So I'll just uncheck this, click OK. And now you can see all the data is combined, whether it's each data, it continues through the next sheet, that is Midwest data. And then we have, if I scroll down further, we have North data and we have South data. Now the final thing that we need to do is, for example, the names are all shown correctly, and that's how we identify that it belongs to which sheet name. The only problem is if we want to replace this underscore with a space, I'll just click here in the filter, or I'll just hold the heading, right click on this and go to replace values. I want to find underscore and replace with a space. So I'll put a space here, click OK. And now my data is in perfect condition. Now, if I want to drag it to any other point, let's say I want to keep the date first and I want to place it at the end. So I can drag it towards the end and it shows like this. Now let's check the data type. I'll just select the whole date column. And if I click on transform, the data type is selected to any. That means even if there is text in between this data, it will still allow it. But if I want to filter that out or make sure that I only have the date data, I'll just change it to date and it will filter out all the rest of the things. Let me just change these other data to text as well. I'll select all of these columns and make sure we change it to text. So you will also see whatever is in text, you will see a little sign of ABC here. And for the commission or percentage, I'll just change this to percentage like this. And also if we still see any particular row as errors, what we can do is we can filter that out easily as well. Just right click on this data and click on remove errors. Make sure that you select it from the heading and then right click on it, click remove errors. And after that, just click on home and click on close and load. What this will do is it will insert a new worksheet and you have all of this data combined for the multiple Excel files into a single one. If you want to change the format, let's say to this one, we can easily do that. Now the benefit of this is, let's say that from this particular folder, whenever I want to remove any data, I'll just cut it here. And let's say that I placed it in some other folder and this is the only data we have. Right now, Midwest data is included here, but when I right click on our right in the other queries and I click on refresh, right now you can notice that we have 1844 rows. But as soon as I click on refresh, it will update the data instantly and we now have only 1403 rows. So if you want to take the condition that now we are trying to add some new data, all you have to do is just from the new data, just copy this from the folder into this one, which works with Power Query. And as soon as you right click and refresh it, it will update the data and include this in the results. As you can see, Midwest data is now included. After that, let's save it. And I will just save it as a finished file with this name so that you can download and see this as a reference. So this is how you can combine multiple Excel files from a particular folder using Power Query into a single file. Just try this by yourself and I'll see you in the next one.